It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's... it's actually a bird over there. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to some more Vinland Saga. Episode 18. God, I'm excited. Last episode, we left off with Thorfinn and Thorkell about to fight. I cannot wait to see what happens. I'm so fucking excited. I don't really know how this fight is gonna go. Somehow, it's not really time for either of them to die, or at least it doesn't feel like it is. So I feel like it's gonna get interrupted. The fight is gonna get interrupted somehow by someone or something. It's really hard to say what's gonna happen. I think most likely they're gonna just fight a little and then something's gonna interrupt. I don't know. You know, after getting betrayed, Askeladd, I mean, got shot with some arrows, not gonna lie. It was pretty bad. Bad in the sense that now Askeladd's kind of out of the fight. He did take down a bunch of his own men and scared them shitless to the point where they resorted to bows and arrows. And unfortunately, you know, long-range weapons, they're just OP. But enough of recapping, enough of talking. We want to know what's going to happen. So let's just get right into episode 18 of Vinland Saga, shall we?
I can see it. I'm all right. I can dodge it if I watch carefully.
But again, as I said last time they fought, it's not about the weapon. It's about grabs. Once you get grabbed, you're fucked.
Way to go, man! Keep it moving! That little guy's not too bad.
He landed a blow against Thorkell.
Those quick ones are always the toughest to beat. Are we about to see a good matchup after all?
Damn it. It won't go through. He's wearing chainmail
I
underneath.
really liked this coat, too. So, you don't seem to be afraid of my axe? You've got some stones, boy. You must have inherited that from your father.
Lumbering bastard. Who are you to my father?
But Thor's rose through the ranks because of his skill with the sword.
He what?
You want to hear more? Now do you? If you want me to keep going, I'll tell you, as long as you entertain me for a while. Well, Thorfinn?
I really don't mind entertaining you, giant. I'll just try to hold back enough to make sure you can still talk when I'm done.
Get a load of this kid!
My stomach hurts.
Holding back against the cat? Yeah, right.
The boy's an idiot.
The real funny thing here is, he's not joking.
I don't think it's funny. Thorfinn is a warrior worthy of my respect. Don't laugh! Old Thor's was even stronger than me. I believe it's time for you to prove that you really are his son.
Once again, I believe that Thorfinn is capable, very capable, as long as he doesn't let his mind wander. As long as he doesn't get riled up. As long as he doesn't let other people's words about his father get under his skin. Dodge him, weave and bob and weave.
Stupid brat. He came back just to die. What happened to the prince?
Out of the cradle.
Your Highness. Your Highness. Canute, my prince.
Ragnar, you're back. You're alive.
I've come to say goodbye to you, my prince.
You expect me to go on living in a world like this? All alone? Do you truly think I can survive?
It's my fault. I was tasked to be the one who'd mentor you, and I failed terribly.
Indeed.
I was supposed to raise you to be a Jarl, but I simply raised you as a child. The way that any man might go about bringing up a son of his very own.
What's wrong with that? You looked out for me far more than my father, the king, ever has.
In the end, it's not about coddling. It's about teaching them to survive on their own once you're gone.
With royal blood. I wish I was Ragnar. I would have been so much happier if I'd been your son.
My prince, you filled this old heart with joy, Your Highness. Some things are gained from experiencing a loss. But a clever young man like you must know that already.
Ragnar,
I'm only a dream, my prince.
wait.
The time has come for you to finally awaken.
No, Ragnar. Come back. Come back!
Okay.
Let's go! Attack all at once!
Your Highness, you weren't hurt, were you?
This guy.
You're a servant of the Lord, so why don't you try to stop them?
How am I to stop such hate? It's much more sensible to let those who want to die perish.
I had a dream. It was about Ragnar.
It's funny how they're just casually talking about stuff while these guys are fighting in the background.
Was the emotion that Ragnar felt towards you actually love? Remember, he stood by and watched as 62 innocent villagers were slain for your safety. Highness, I must ask you, what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
I gotta say,
What is love?
disappointing.
Kill him! Go, Captain! Stop running away! Bastard's fast!
Oh, he's drawn blood.
All those cuts. Unbelievable. That kid's not just holding his own. He's winning.
No.
Well done, Thorfinn.
He's not
I
winning.
don't think I even have 5 men here who'd be a match for your ability.
The thing is, I think he's slowed down because of the chainmail.
The same chainmail vest he had last time, but the tendons in his limbs are still exposed. I paid a hefty price after going for his vitals back in London. I can't finish him off until I've stopped his movement.
I'll give it to you. You're fast and strong for someone your size. But your swordsmanship is just average. See, you're still lacking something to complete yourself as a warrior.
So what does that make you then if somebody like that is beating your ass?
It's true. I'm lacking too. I was hoping that I could learn something from you since you're Thor's flesh and blood. Hey, Thorfinn. I'd like to hear it from you. Tell me, what is a true warrior?
If Ragnar didn't have love, then where's the one who can properly display what love is?
He's right over there. Just look. He has perished, and is far more beautiful now than when he was alive. The embodiment of love itself. His remains will keep here until the snow thaws. and what's left behind will be a great bounty to beasts and insects alike. You will be left as is in the cold rain. You will bear it all without a single complaint. For death is what truly completes a human being.
Interesting view of the world, I suppose.
Damn it! You don't know? Well, don't let it bother you. I wasn't expecting you to.
That was a dirty trick! So, death itself is the essence of love?
Yes.
I feel like
Caring for their child.
this is more of a stretch. I feel like the whole love thing and death is kind of a stretch. Kind of a like you're looking too deep into this.
And now, it feels like the fog is being lifted.
He's starting to believe there is no spoon.
Aren't deep enough. Of course. The snow. It's love, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. Now we're just spewing some bullshit, okay? I have no idea what the fuck they're even talking about at this point. The snow. It's love, isn't it? You mean like someone came in it or something? Like, what are we talking about here exactly? What kind of love are we talking about? I'm not gonna lie, I think they kind of lost the plot here. Like, I was kind of maybe on board with the whole, like, you know, love and then death, you know, and so on. Even though even that was kind of a massive stretch. But now, like, what the fuck does, oh, the snow. It's love, isn't it? What the fuck does that even mean? Like, what? I think they've drank a little bit too much alcohol. That's love, isn't it?
Blowing wind.
That's love, isn't it? That's love, isn't it?
Mountains.
That's love, isn't it? It's all love.
The world. God's creation has such beauty woven through it. But in the human soul, there is no love.
It is said the reason we've become creatures so far from grace is because long ago our ancestors disobeyed God's command and committed the first sin. And ever since then, mankind has been exiled from paradise.
What the fuck is that face?
Wait!
Look up there!
He used the spring in his legs to dampen the impact. Nice move.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's... it's actually a bird over there.
You see that? Amazing!
Okay.
Go, Captain! Damn it. I finally run out of plans.
And then there's that guy.
The battle seems to have come to an end. And yet, there's a problem. Man has lost his sanity.
Sanity, you say? In this accursed world, are there any sane men? Everyone. They're all the same. Equally ignorant. They have no idea what it takes to love. They don't understand the meaning of life and death. They don't even know why they fight. That's enough. I've grown tired of it.
That which was lost in exchange for knowledge was what is most important. And that's something we'll never attain for as long as we live, forever out of reach. And despite that, even then you tell us to seek it? Father in heaven! Miserable warrior. The one who's the very farthest from love. Exiled from heaven. Is there any way, aside from death, to end the suffering of your punishment? What's our life's purpose? Tell me! Is it only meant to be tested and endured? Father in heaven, the test you have given this man will do nothing to save his soul! Almighty, I no longer seek your salvation. If you refuse to give it to us, we will make our own. A paradise on this earth, shaped by our own hands.
Well, that's a good thing, but look, it didn't catch me. I'm not gonna lie. So that would have been like, I'm sure that was supposed to be like a big moment, right? Like you can kind of tell with the music and the whole scene, right? It was supposed to be some sort of like big moment showing, you know, how the prince has grown. And I'm sure, you know, obviously the prince has grown, but it was clearly supposed to be some sort of moment where they show how kind of, you know, badass the prince is now. Where he like steps up to Bjorn, right? This rampaging giant, and basically like intimidates him, talks him down. But the problem is that not only did this happen way too quickly, but also, I don't know, it just didn't work for me. You see, to me, I like competent characters, right? But having this prince gain some willpower and then all of a sudden he can just intimidate people, like basically mindless warriors, like it's not really, I don't know. It didn't work for me. It didn't sway me at all, to be honest. I think the problem with it was that, well, first off, we haven't really seen the prince do anything cool up until this moment. So it's like, I haven't really cared about the prince at all, to be honest. Right? He hasn't done anything. All he's done is whine. So I haven't really cared about him. And because I haven't really cared about him, now that he has this moment, I find his newfound ability to step up to a mindless warrior like Bjorn, I find it a little cheaty. You know, it's like he's cheating. Like he's just I don't know. Like he didn't really do anything. He just kind of spouted some religion stuff at the guy, and then he was intimidated. Like, you know, it doesn't feel earned, not really. He's convincing this mindless beast to love and stuff like that. It doesn't, you know, it just didn't get to me. It did not sway me at all. And so ultimately, this guy might have a pogger's face and reaction to that, but I did not. It is what it is.
Highness, you're safe.
Just stop it, you fool. Don't keep fighting pointless battles. It went through your gut. Willibald! Come here.
Is that his name?
Man's wounds. I'll go chase down the horses that ran away. You, assist the priest immediately.
Huh? Highness, I've just witnessed a miracle.
Be quiet and help that man.
Hey, Prince, hold on! Where are you going? We're handing you over to Thorkell. Otherwise, the other men are all gonna...
I plan on returning to where Thorkell is. We can't transport the wounded without borrowing a sled.
What's that? You'd better be talking in your sleep! Why do you think that I dealt with punishment like this in the first place? If you just want to hand yourself right back to him, then there was no point!
Really? There's no point? You think there's any point to your fighting? There's no meaning to any of these battles. So fight to stay alive.
So, I do like that he's more confident now. Trust me, I do like that. But I don't like the fact that others, almost just out of nowhere, just follow him. Or how do I say this? Sure, he gained confidence, but that doesn't mean that others will immediately follow him just because he has a little bit of confidence, right? We haven't actually seen him do anything to earn their respect. See what I'm getting with this? Sure, he has now confidence, but he hasn't done anything yet. He just speaks with confidence and, commands them around, but he hasn't done anything to earn their respect. That's my problem. It feels like they're just kind of... It feels like they're skipping a step. It feels like, oh, the prince now has confidence, thus all these these hardened warriors are intimidated and immediately do as he says. Huh? That's not... what? Huh? Sure, it's a little bit surprising that the prince all of a sudden now gained his confidence, but it's just a little bit weird that they're just doing whatever he says now. I'm just hoping this, maybe it's just these two now, because they're in kind of a fucked up situation where they don't really have a plan, they don't really know what they're doing, and so the prince is kind of confidently giving them a plan, kind of like Askeladd would. Essentially, if everyone's kind of panicking and not really sure what's going on and not really sure what they're doing, and then someone steps up and takes control of the situation, right? Speaks confidently and kind of essentially jumps into the leader role, then people will follow that, right? Because people love to follow people. Essentially, I'm hoping that this doesn't happen with everybody, where just because the prince now speaks with confidence and has a little bit of, some of the balls dropped, right? That everybody will now just follow him for no reason, essentially. Just because he speaks with some confidence.
Warriors, become my vassals. I will teach you who you must fight and win for a purpose. I will give meaning to your battles, to your life, and to your death. That is the duty of a king.
Yeah. Okay. What do I think about this? I think it happened way too quickly. Way too quickly. Out of nowhere, to be honest. And he immediately, just kind of out of nowhere is oh, I'll show you what it means to be a king, or something like that, right? I would have bought it a lot more if the change that we saw in him would have been something along the lines of, he has a kind of a change of mind. He kind of changes his mind and is look, these fucking idiots, they keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. They don't even know what they're fighting for. So I'm gonna do what I fucking want, and I'm gonna change things. And then he has more confidence, and he just tells people, dude, shut the fuck up, stop fighting, do what I say, you fucking idiot. Which is basically what happened. But the difference between this version and my version is that he's now acting as if he's higher than everybody else. Essentially, I wanted him to turn out to be more like Askeladd, to where he uses his wits and cunning and confidence to essentially charisma his way, through these situations and command these people. But instead, they kind of went with, oh, I'm a prince, you have to listen to what I say, thus I order you to become my vassals and blah blah blah, right? It feels like he gained confidence, but not any charisma, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to explain it. It just feels like he gained confidence, and all of a sudden he's like, I'll show you what it's like to be a true king, or something like that. Like, where did that come from? It would have been better, I think, if they showed him getting some confidence, and then he comes up with a plan to like save everybody. Well, not everybody, but like, you know, save Bjorn here. Basically intimidates this guy to following his plan as well. And then as the episodes go forward and he's more confident and he, you know, actually is more competent, right? People will start seeing him as a proper leader. And then instead of him saying, I'll show you what it's like to be a true king, other people will start looking at him and being like, that's what I believe a true king is like. Or something like that, right? Other people call you a hero. You don't call yourself a hero. And I provide that as an example because, like, a hero is not a title that you can just take on. It is a title given to you by others. And kind of in a similar way, I believe they should have had other people saying that, you know, he is, or after a few episodes maybe, that he is what they want a true king to be like. Or something along those lines, right? It's just that I felt like he got too confident too quickly. It's all right to have a little confidence at first, right? And then becomes more competent and better as a leader, and then people start saying that he is what they believe a true king should be, right? Not he himself being like, I'll show you. Like, I feel like his confidence, I think that's exactly it. I feel like his confidence turned into ego very quickly. It's one thing being confident and coming up with a plan to save everybody and, you know, being a good leader. It's another thing to be like, I'll show you what a true king should be like. You know, one is confidence and competence. The other is ego and being overconfident. As for Thorkell and Thorfinn here, I mean, the fight ended kind of badly, in my opinion. I definitely did not expect whatever this is, you know, like, he just went flying, I guess. Flying with the birds. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Thorfinn. I mean, he landed with some branches, luckily, so he survived, obviously, because he's the main character, but, I mean, I suppose the fight is over. But yeah, ultimately, I think I want to say that this new prince, this new version of the prince, just has confidence, but we have yet to see competence. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed episode 18 of Vinland Saga. I'm a little bit split on my opinion of this episode. On one hand, you know, we had Thorkell and Thorfinn fighting, but it didn't end well. Or it didn't end that well, in my opinion. The fight, I mean. And then, on the other side, with the prince, again, I like that the prince is more confident in taking charge, but it's almost like his confidence turned into ego very quickly and overconfidence. And so it's like half good, but half like not what I was expecting and not what I think is good, really. So very much 50-50. We'll just have to see where we go from here. That is it for this episode, my friends. And I shall see you in the next episode of Vinland Saga next time.